Welcome to Inspire Gaming. I'm your host, Crown, and today is December 28th. This is Grey Penance episode 7, and we have the Stormhammer that I have just finished. And I haven't just finished it. I finished it earlier this week, but Christmas was this week, and a lot was going on, and I just wasn't able to upload it. It just never came up, so I'm waiting. I had to wait all the way up until Saturday so I could finally get a chance to show it to you guys and talk about it. And if you're new here, and you don't know what the Grey Penance is, welcome. As I said just a minute ago, I am Crown. This is my crusade. This is my vow. This is my oath that I have sworn to finish all of these Legions Imperialis models before I buy any more. Why? Because I have so much. That's double stacked. There are more behind it, and I have just a few more over there. And we have been doing this for the last few months. I have been making these models. I've been working on I've been working on Legions Imperialis for pretty much the entire year. It's just been painting them and building them, and I'm a little bit slow at it, and I like to buy things, and I end up with way more than I will probably ever be able to finish, and that's not good, because I still have other games, Warhammer, some Kill Team, which is still Warhammer, and so is Legions Imperialis, and there's you know, up there, there's over there, there's down here, there's there, and there's a little bit, there's a whole bunch, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I still have the terrain to do. Oh goodness, I have so much terrain to do, and yeah, there's so much stuff that I just want to keep buying. I have to stop myself. I had to make this vow, and what I do is I talk to you guys about things that are coming up on the channel, you know, things going on in life. And then I talk about the models a little bit, you know, a little bit of insight to it, and then we talk about the stats, you know, a little bit of stats, a little bit of tactics. There's not too much tactics with these guys. They're super heavy tanks. They're awesome. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. I just want to say, I hope you all had a great Christmas. I know I did. I want to thank my family for being supportive with me. You know, they watched some of these videos. They got me some models. I didn't even know that they were going to get them for me. I got 2 War Masters. I got one of each War Master. I'm going to have to make, I'm going to have to put one in each Titan Legion, because there's no way I'm ever going to get to play with both of them if I put them in the same Legion. So, yeah, I got to play we did our second campaign battle report last week. I got that posted up. I finished, you know, it was a great game. Crayola beat the snot out of me. It's not even funny. I'm trying. She came up with tactics I wasn't ready for, and she took the capital. The traders are winning right now, and I'm sorry for all my loyalist fans out there. I have to do better. I have to recover that. I have to recover this world. Havenbrook must not fall to the traders, and right now it's not looking good. But and with that, I am working on, you know, earlier this week I finished these guys, and I am working on, I've primed, and I got to bring them upstairs. The Mechanicum, I got to get some models painted for traders so that we don't have to keep seeing blue on blue. But she doesn't, everything she knows about the game, she knows because I taught it to her. So I probably need to do some practice games. I need to do at least one practice game, kind of get an idea, a better feel for, you know, I've seen it on paper. I've seen what Mechanicum is. I need to play Mechanicum. I need to test it. And so I'll probably do a battle report. I'll probably play Mechanicum against my son. Somebody, right? Just so I can see it. And I'll post that up. It'll be a different thing. It won't be part of the campaign, but you know, it's a chance for us to practice it, see what they look like, see how they play. And I had I've recovered. I feel like I'm pretty recovered from the surgery 2 weeks ago. You know, never felt where the organ was taken out, the gallbladder. Never really noticed pain there. It's all in the belly button where the doctor went in. He cut into that spot and took it out from. He said it was kind of inflamed. Might have been a problem for a long time. Would have continued to be a problem for a long time, because they don't ever get better. They just get bad. As predicted, no tech priest, no extra organs put in there. They didn't give me an internal auspex or anything, so that's unfortunate. You know, what are you gonna do about it? And yeah, I think that's it for news. We'll talk more about this stuff We'll talk more about this stuff. I'll do an end of year review, and I want to show off everything that I've painted this year. There's not going to be anything else after these guys, because there's only a few days, and I'm probably not going to finish any of the Mechanicum stuff before then. So we'll do an end of year review, Tuesday? Tuesday's the last day of the year. And you probably won't watch it till next year, because I'll be posting it right at the end of this one. But so yeah, let's talk about these guys. Stormhammer. Beautiful. It looks very similar to its older brother. It is a variant of the Baneblade, a variant of the Super Heavy, and it is one of the rarest variants of Baneblade, rarest variant of Super Heavy. It's different from the Shadow Sword, Stormblade, and Shadowblade, in that it doesn't, it's got this setup again with the fuel and the exhaust and the fuel, as opposed to the large tank of whatever that was over, roughly on this side, I think. Or was it this side? I'm getting confused with the camera. I didn't pull one over here to look at either. So it's got the same setup and everything. There's a little bit of difference. You'll notice immediately that the sponsons do not have turrets on them. And if you look at like 40K, you look at 40K Stormhammers, they have so many heavy bolters, so many las cannons. They're completely different. They've got an option for this dual battle cannon. This guy here, they've got an option for that as the turret too. It doesn't have the turret. It's got a 3-gun sponson on each side. No las cannon turret there. It trades out the demolisher cannon for a las cannon, right? There's no option for that. The only option that you have with this guy is you can put las cannon sponsons here, and these were optional in how they place, unlike those other sponsons for the Baneblade and the Shadow Sword, where it's 2-gun. It's just a sponson piece that you click in, you push in, and the gun is already aligned and everything, and it just stays there. This, you get to put them in. I went with a porcupine-ish design where I just got the guns pointing out in every direction. And I kept them symmetrical and everything. I felt that was the most appropriate. It also comes with the coaxial is on the opposite side, right? So here's the coaxial. Here's the Baneblade, Hellhammer specifically. And you can see the coaxial there is on opposite sides, which is interesting. And this one's a coaxial autocannon. This one's a coaxial multi-laser. A lot of multi-lasers on this gun. And it's even got the pintle mount, the guy up here, pintle mount, multi-laser. And if, I think I mentioned this in one of the earlier videos for this, I like to put the pintle mount on guns that I expect to be shooting kind of that infantry. I've got them on my Dracosans with the Demolisher Cannon, because when you're shooting at a building, aren't you really shooting at the infantry inside the building? You're not shooting at the building because you don't like the building. You're shooting at the building because you don't like the people inside the building, right? I guess sometimes you don't like the building. It also loses that heavy bolter. Loses the heavy bolter that is the hull mount, the forward-facing heavy bolter, which would have been 2 shots there. And it trades that for a secondary gun, the dual battle cannon. Yeah. Let's talk tactics. Let's talk points. Let's talk stats, things like that, right? Unlike the Baneblade, unlike the Super Heavy, Solar Auxiliary Super Heavy, you get no discount when you take multiples of these. These came out in the second book, the Titan Death, or whatever it was called, the Great Slaughter. And for whatever reason, nothing in that book had discounts to it. Couldn't tell you if that was because it was a different team writing it, or if they just decided it doesn't need discounts. Maybe it doesn't need discounts. It's a deadly thing. It's a pretty spicy tank. It is slower than the Super Heavy. It does not have as good as a close combat as the Super Heavy. It only has 2 as opposed to 4. 1 inch slower speed. Save and morale are otherwise the same. The initial cost, same for both of them, 100 points. And then you make some very interesting, in my opinion, trades on weaponry. Your sponsons are, you have the option to upgrade the sponson from the multi-laser, which has 5 shots, more shots than any of the Baneblade sponson options, at about a mid-range of the Baneblade sponson weapons. hitting on 4s instead of 5s compared to the Baneblade, and with no AP. And it's light AT, just like the autocannon. So you have slightly worse range than the autocannon, but you have more than double the shots as the autocannon. Both weapons have the same AP against tanks, and you have a better to hit. You hit 50% of the time as opposed to 1/3 of the time. So it's better against tanks than the autocannon, and it's better against infantry than the heavy bolter because it's got more hit, more range, and an extra dice. They both have the same AP of 0. So, your responsive weapon is just better, right? You don't have the hull-mounted heavy bolter, so you have you have 1 shot less AP, if you're comparing it to all heavy bolters. 1 shot less AP at better shots, right? You trade a little bit of numbers for quantity there. And then in other areas, you trade quantity for numbers. So you've got the main armament, the Stormhammer cannon, compared to the Baneblade cannon or the Hellhammer cannon, has less AP, one less AP. They all hit the same. It's got more range and an extra shot than those guns. So that's fantastic. It also has shred, which makes it better against infantry and walkers. Though you're probably not shooting at you may not want to shoot your main cannon at infantry, right? Because even at best, you kill two 7.5 point models. So maybe you want to shoot it at other tanks. But if you do, or walkers, if you are shooting it at infantry, though, you got better odds. You got the extra dice to hit them, right? And then you don't have a demolisher cannon. You've got a las cannon, which has more range. But much less AP. Let's really compare the hull-mounted las cannon to the turret-mounted las cannon. You lose a shot there. Let's compare the hull-mounted demolisher to our secondary cannon of the dual battle cannon. So now you have more than double the range. You have an extra shot at less AP. But it's much more range, right? Like you can reach out and touch something with 28 inches. It's almost it is 2 feet. That's 2 feet of range. And then, so really what you've lost when you compare all those things, you've lost 1 las cannon shot. In return, you have better point defense guns that can hurt tanks. Either with more shots that can hurt tanks, or just with less shots, but at better quality. Better quality regardless. Your coaxial is slightly less range, but better hit, better chance to hit something. And yeah, it's just better. It's just better than the super. It's better than the Baneblade or the Hellhammer in either quantity or quality in various areas, right? And if you can't accept that you are 1 las cannon shy than the super Solar Auxiliary Super Heavy, I need to just start calling it the Baneblade. Gosh. If you can't accept that fact, give it the 4-point upgrade. Give it 4 more las cannon shots. And don't worry about the fact that you don't have point defense guns, because you're just going to shoot all the vehicles and tanks and walkers that you can see, right? Go that way, if that's what it really comes down to. Or continue using the Baneblade. The Baneblade does can have 6 dudes in it with a 110 point discount. And the Stormhammer only gets 3. You can have 3 tanks, which is a fine number. Take both formations. Do it that way. Buy 3 boxes of each, and you've got yourselves a solid unit. Put them in the super heavy company. You've got a solid unit of 6 Baneblades, and then you've got 2 units of 3 Stormhammers. Drive these things forward, point defense all the infantry, and then lay into them with all the rest of the guns during the first fire activation. Just beware, just have a bunch of infantry to support you so that you don't get charged, because it's got a lot of guns and everything, but I mean, there's other things that, infantry still does some of that stuff better. Infantry deals with infantry better than tanks do for the most part. Anyway, without me going any further into what we've got coming up for next year, how we did for this year, we're going to end it here. We're going to call it here. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed it, hit that like button so I know that you like these videos. And hit subscribe if you haven't already so that you know when I've got more videos coming up. And if you want to talk about these things, if I missed something, if there's something else you wanna bring up, if you've got a funny anecdote about a time where somebody tried to charge your Stormhammer with Ogren and you just opened up on them, comment below. Love to read them. Anyway, I've been Crown. This has been Eagle Spire Gaming. Thanks for flying by.